Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Project Highrise Strategies and Tactics, Episode 1. So yeah, my Pinstar Plays version of this game went crazy. You guys really are chomping at the bit for this game. And I do know it is still not out. In fact, it still doesn't have a formal release date. That being said, you guys are hungry for more. So you know what? I've been playing this game to death. I have been building up some strategies, some tactics, some good techniques for you guys to get started on your towers when it is finally released to the public. Full disclosure, this is a press build preview given to me for free by the developer. No strings attached. So let us dive in. Now I am going to do another game here on sandbox. That is my preferred method for pretty much any game. Is if there's scenarios or if there's a sandbox, I will dive into the sandbox. That's how I roll. But let's give this a different name, shall we? We did Ficklewood last time. Let's call it... Those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time will know who that is. Now, the difficulty level. My full intention was to do a game on difficult, because, well, that's also how I roll. However, I got into it, and it started kicking my butt 7 ways to Tuesday. Like, it was, like, I couldn't even get my foot on the ground. It was that difficult. So I asked the devs about the difficult setting, and they said it is still a work in progress. It still needs tuning and balancing. It is not really ready for prime time, and it still kicks their butts. So that being said, I still do want my business sim game with a little bit of teeth to it. So we're gonna go with challenging. Start with a small amount of money, the economy is solid, but costs will be higher and revenues lower than in standard mode. So this is a double whammy. Not only do you make less, but stuff costs more. So you need to be very smart with your money. That being said, challenging is not insurmountable, as I will demonstrate. Lot size, a couple of different ways you could do it. Part of me wants to do the extra large to just max out the map, but I've seen extra large. It allows you to go so wide that the tower doesn't really, it's not really a tower, it's just more of a mini mall, a gigantic mini mall. And narrow's too restrictive, so you know what? I think standard slot size is the right way to go. Alright, without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, here we are. We are on our little map here. There's not much in the way of... Actually, there actually is no really anything in the way of sort of random generation. You always start with the same beginning structure, even on the harder difficulty levels, thank goodness. And... well, the map is always empty, and the amount of available space you have is dependent on the map size that you chose beforehand. So, that being said, we have some things to do. First off, we must choose our second contract. Now, our first contract is always going to be proof of concept, daily rent goal. That will be easy enough to hit, but we want to choose our second contract wisely, because not only does it give you a reward at the back end of it, but it also gives you a little bit of extra cash in the front end. And on challenging, you're going to want that extra 500. Now, all of these pay an extra 500 bucks up front, so the front end is not much of a consideration. That being said, the reward is... Now, more people needed. You need 50 people. We have 2 people. That's just going to sit for too long. No, too hard. Now, basic offices is going to be something we're going to go for, but it only pays 1,500. Now, look at down here. A bit of variety. This wants a couple of different restaurants. Small restaurants, and it'll give you 1,500 on completion. So that's a full 2,000 for a pretty quick thing. So I like starting with a bit of variety for my secondary contract here. So yeah, all you need is a place that serves breakfast, a place that serves lunch, and a cafe that serves coffee. Now, we can get 2/3 of this done in one fell swoop. We go here, allocate some building space. I will put it... Oh yeah. One other thing I like to do, just so I can consolidate all of my utilities into one giant column, is I like to move our starting electrical closet, wiring closet rather, and put it right here. That way, when we build ourselves another level of stairs, all of the not economic things are sort of lumped together, so you don't sort of Swiss cheese your available space, and that will make it more likely that you can fit in more things, which is ultimately a good thing. So anyway, the first thing we're going to fit in here is going to be a space here for an eatery. We got 2 food court restaurants, and as you can see, we need at least 1 prestige before we can even touch a cafe. So despite the fact that we're about to finish 2/3 of this quest here, you can't insta-complete it. You do need to get up to 1-star prestige, but that only requires 20 people, and that's easy enough. So now it is a little bit random what kind of restaurants are available, and you want to take a look at the description. Black Spoon Wraps, hearty takeout, serves breakfast and lunch, versus the ZK Burger Grill, sub shop, serves lunch. Now, what's most important for us right now is that latter half, the serves breakfast and lunch. That is going to be absolutely critical, the breakfast and lunch place. You want to prioritize that over just the lunch place. That being said, we are still going to use the lunch place, just not right away. I'd take the breakfast and lunch place even if its rent was 90 and the other one was 95. All right, so we've got that ready to go. But that being said, we still need more space. We still need more wiggle room here. And actually, we need a lot more space to sort of make all this work for us. So we are going to build out. Specifically, we're going to go 4 empty offices out on each side. These are enough spaces for 2 empty offices here. So 8 spaces. So we need another 8 spaces. But here's my thing here. I like to go up early. Not super high up, like this isn't going to be like our only narrow tower and whatnot, but there is something to be said for going up a little bit and then going out. Because if you just straight up go out, you're going to be building a lot of ground floor in relation to the floor above it that you're going to be populating. And the way I like to lay out my ground floor, I like to keep it almost entirely empty, sort of as I did in the original video. This one is a notable exception, of course. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build you out. We're going to build you out a little bit here, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Build all of you up first. Actually, yeah, we should build up first, but that's okay. Get another line of stairs. Actually, we didn't need that, but actually, no, we kind of did, because I want to build up again. Now, the first day is, you're not going to be making a lot of money. You actually really want to focus on getting your tower itself built up. And like I said, I'm reserving the space down here for, well, future use, with the exception of this one breakfast joint. Whoop! And, of course, I forget the power. Don't forget the power, folks. And one other thing to note, your workers will build tower tiles in the order that you place them. So because I placed these first, they will build them first. The only real way to get them to cancel out of that is if you delete them before they've built them, but that still kind of screws with their behavior a little bit. So just place them carefully. Okay, so now up here, well, first off, up here, we want to continue our wiring closet up here. Always make sure you maintain that column, because you don't want to accidentally stomp on it and then realize you don't have room to run the utilities where you need to. We are going to get ourselves another restaurant. Now, these guys aren't going to be very profitable right now. There's nobody else in the tower, but we'll be fixing that, and getting rent from them early is going to be helpful. Every little bit counts. So here we're going to take the other guy the sub shop here, just for a little bit of diversity. So one of you guys will go and build him. And yeah, I know they're whining about lack of dinner places and what have you. Oh, and of course, once again, I forgot the electricity. Silly me. Okay, so now the rest of this space is open for businesses. 1, 2, 3. Now, here's the thing you want to keep in mind, or you want to try and shoot for. You want to try to avoid having to place down businesses that require phone lines too soon. Because the minute you get one that requires a phone line, you need a phone junction box, and that costs you upkeep every single period. So let's scan for one, see if we can get some low-hanging fruit that only require electrical. Even if they offer us less in rent because they only want electrical, at this specific juncture, I'm going to go for the electrical only. Now, the insurance offices, they are always electric only, but they don't pay nearly as well as the others. Some accounting offices and some legal offices require electric only. So let's see if we can fish for those. See, yeah, this one's electrical only. That needs a phone. Yeah, the 93 ones are the electrical only. So we get 2 out of these 3. That's not bad. Let's go central tax offices, pinnacle tax offices, and let's just check the legal. We got one legal. Now I do know that they want those extra amenities. I have not forgotten about those. Oh, one other tip here. You only need to run utilities to the just one tile in a thing. So at the very end of the line here, we don't need to get the rest of these 3. That's a little bit of a tip to save money in the long run. Even though $30 might not seem like much now, it can add up and it can be important. All right, yeah, you guys go do that. Now, here's a little trick here. If you can get them built before midnight, they will pay you rent on this day. So come on, finish them. Come on. Yeah, just in time. So we're going to get the rent from these 4, despite the fact that nobody bothered showing up for that. This one's not going to be done in time, but that's okay. I wasn't expecting it to. So $500 in revenue. The expenses show our construction costs, so we're still only making 62 a day. That shows how little you get in revenues from the early game here. 371 total, but that's okay. We still are sitting on a healthy stack of cash, so we still have wherewithal to be able to continue expanding. Speaking of continuing expanding, I'm going to draw this out another 4 here. And let's see, let's put you up 1. Now you don't need a stairway on the top floor, because see how they can get up to the top floor there without needing one? It's not like an elevator. Now, I am going to place another food place right here, but I'm not going to invite anyone in yet, because it's for a cafe. So as soon as we get that 1-star prestige, then this place will do it. So right now, I'm just keeping it as a placeholder. That being said, we do want to place these as they come in. Now this bottom row is no phone lines required, which is fine. That being said, let's do another line of no phone lines required if we can swing it. These 2 obviously we know require no phone lines. You're no phone lines required either. Beautiful. Yeah, sometimes you'll get lucky and they'll trickle in. So that works out beautifully. We will get, let's get these drawn out to where we know they're going to be going. Yeah, now the rest of these, we do want to start building for 4 of each flavor. So try not to build more than 4 of any given flavor. So we've already got, the rest of these 4 can be used for insurance offices. So we don't need to fish for more electrical only on the other types. The other thing you want to pay attention to is your electrical thing here. So this thing can only support 10 buildings that receive power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how that works out nicely? So we can build out this whole section of building and it can all be powered by this one thing. When we start building out more sections of buildings, then yes, we're going to need to expand our utilities. But you don't want to expand your utilities until you need them because you pay for the entirety of the utility regardless of what percentage of it is being used. So we've got that. We'll go for another insurance office. I do wish it let you advertise for them, even if you don't have a specifically open one. All right. There we go. And we will advertise. Hopefully we get at least 2 out of those, because that'll give us our 4 requisite insurance offices. It's only $50 a pop to advertise for insurance offices anyway, so it's not going to bankrupt you. And 2! Beautiful! Exactly what I needed. All right, now here's the other. Here's another tip here. This is sort of what I call like slingshotting. When it comes time for you to build out more utilities, you want to, on the same day, be able to use as much of them, much of that new capacity as possible to minimize the period of time where you are producing way too many utilities, and therefore, compared to the amount of rent they're drawing in, and therefore draining your cash. So, like, right now, we certainly have enough money to throw down another electrical transformer here, but I'm not. Here's the reason. It's past noon in the day. I'm actually just going to wait for the day to finish. Because you get rent at the end of the day, but you also pay your utilities at the end. So if I wait until 1 a.m. of the next day to throw down my next utility, I get to use the entire day to try and build out more offices to actually use that utility. So we are just going to sit tight here, let people do their thing. We're going to get a bit more rent, although I don't think it's going to hit 1,000. But that's okay. Right now, our main focus is 20 people to get our first star of prestige. But that will come in our next expansion. Sometimes it pays to be a little patient. You know, you might want to say, oh, I want to build more. I want to build more. Wait for the clock. Wait for it. Your patience will be rewarded. Wait for it. And ka-ching! Yeah, 861. So another solid expansion, and we will hit our proof of concept quite nicely. And another solid expansion will hit the 20 people. So, now here's another thing that you can do. And actually, I probably should have been doing this earlier, because they've been sitting idle for a while. These tower sections, just when they're empty, they don't cost you upkeep. So building them out ahead of time before you start filling them and start using utilities is not a bad idea. In fact, I should have built these. I should have built these right off the bat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, go at it, peeps. I could throw down this, and also regarding the services, we can throw down one of the services here, although they're not angry for it right yet. When they start getting angry for it, then you can throw them down. I'll give you a little bit of a lead time. And for people that require more than one, sometimes service just providing one of the 2 that they're demanding is good enough. Now, it looks like these guys are going to get to it pretty quickly, but I do want them to build out this space first. This might be another case where I wait one more day, just let everything cook for a little bit. Yeah, they're starting to get hit with unhappies due to the lack of those services. So let's throw them a bone and give them the copy services, because that's the most commonly requested one. We will be throwing down a courier service eventually, but right now... Oh, crap! I forgot that uses up a thing of electricity. All right, well, it looks like our plan is being launched into motion right now, because we don't want that to sit on low power. So we're going to build our utility, and then we're going to start making use of that utility as soon as possible. Crap, we need more space down in the basement. This is where I was talking about deleting some of these to cancel out their priorities. Because we want them to build 2 spaces into the basement so we can get a phone line going as soon as possible. And then go back to building that structure. Because we want to be able to fill as many... Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're going to sit there and whine about that. I know it's unreachable. I deleted it. Go down and do the basement. Thank you. Okay. Now we can get our phone line. And yes, we're going to start with the 10 again. Because one gigantic mistake I made in my Pinstar plays was throwing down the 50 count phone lines right off the bat and then suddenly drowning in expenses. Yeah, that almost killed me. If I was not on standard, I would not have been able to recover from that mistake. But now we have some more goodies here. You want to do these 4 at a time so that you're able to complete usable chunks of space as they become available, rather than doing all of the bottom in one. Well, I kind of did that, so I kind of broke my own advice, but that's what you generally want to be doing. All right, so let us get some wiring to these guys. At the very least, these front 4. Now, all of these we are counting on being requiring phone lines. That's okay. But we've got 10 phone lines to work with now, so that's okay. So don't worry about fishing for electrical onlys on at this point in time. So we will go for counting offices. That wants that. Counting office that wants phones, legal office that wants a phone, and a legal office that wants a phone. So that will keep our guys busy. I do wish I had started off the what's it? Actually, here's what I'm going to do. Put that there for just a second so that we can advertise, and then we'll get rid of it. That way they're just cooking in the background while they're building these. Now things are going to be a little bit tight here, but we should crack our $1,000 daily rent goal, which by itself will give us more money, but also the proof of concept contract completion will also give us a chunk of money. And these things will be done before the end of the day. 1 star of prestige. Cafe. Crap. All right. So this is exactly what we don't want. We do not want a cafe that requires a water hookup. We're not ready to start playing with water yet. So we're going to decline those and pay the money to re-roll them, essentially. That kind of sucks, because being able to get that installed right away would have been able to give us the income on that one day. Let's see, what's it cost to furnish these? That's electrical only. We actually kind of want them to use phone lines because those are useful in their own right. But we already have... Oh wait, no, we don't want... these last 4 are for creatives. We have to save them for creatives. Because we already used them. So why the heck did I advertise for them? Pinstar! Dummy! Wasteful! Wasteful! All right, we'll wait for the data rollover, because we're going to need that to, please. Oh, thank goodness. Unicorn coffee. That sounds delicious. I would drink at a place called Unicorn Coffee. They're probably not gonna finish it before the end of the day. Nope, not quite. But we still got our proof of concept, and they just finish it. Dang, I missed that by like 2 seconds. But yeah, bit of variety. So boom, double contract completion. What a boom, but a bang. And now we're back up to over $2,000. So we now have the money to furnish and wire these last 4 things. And oh, I don't know. Let's see. How about basic offices? Ah, crap on a crap cracker. I miscounted. Don't. All right, we're going to go for incremental income as our next one, too. Now we're up to 3,400. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Man, well, I guess I can build extra offices just to make up the thing. We'll do one more, although is that going to... Yeah, we'll do one more out here, this direction. I think we have the resources and the utilities to handle it. How are we doing? Yes. 16, so these 4 will do it, which means... Dang it! One too many accountants. Well, that was dumb. What am I missing? Lawyers. And here, one too many accountants. What's the evict? Fine. Not the most elegant way to do it, but I want to just seal the deal at this many offices right here, just so we can exactly complete the quest and also max out our utilities. And if we build one more, we're not going to have enough utilities to go around. Now, unfortunately, they're going to have to clean up this space before I can use it again. But in the meantime, what I can do, let me draw out the utilities here, including the phones. Is invite in, well, eventually invite in 4 services. We're also going to need to get the courier services up. And, yeah. I mean, I guess we could just invite in another law office right now. And then we'll make that one the creative. Because we do want to give them courier service, because there's enough offices here demanding courier service that it makes it worthwhile. Yeah, they're going to build those out, but I don't know if I'm going to make use of them right away. But again, empty sections of tower do not cost you an upkeep, which is a really, really useful thing. Okay, 2 more creatives, so we're going to have to invite them. And, well, advertise again for them, unfortunately, if we're going to get all 4 of them. But at least we'll get them in today's office count for rent purposes. And one more. There we go. And then we will get the courier service. Ah, that requires an electrical line, doesn't it? That will max out. That'll overdo our electrical connections then. So I might hold off. If they start threatening to leave, we'll have to jump on that. But I'm gonna be continuing to expand soon anyway. So they're not going to be left without their courier service for long. All right, basic offices, ka-ching. All right, we're at $2,000. So that well. Let's finish off the day here before we move on to phase 2. We'll let them finish off their building spree here. And what the heck, since we built it out this wide, might as well finish off that width up there. But the next thing we're going to do, just as a little preview here, is we're going to go up a floor. But we're not going to build anything utilities or otherwise. Yeah, we're at 20 of 20, so if we built that courier service, we'd be nuking our electrical and leaving somebody without. This is always a good thing. Have them building out more sections of your tower while you're waiting for the day to progress. Now, I might throw down another couple offices once I expand out my utilities, just to make use of this extra space I've built for myself, even though offices are not going to be my thrust. All right. Yeah, we're 2/3 of the way to incremental income. Oh, yeah, we also need to take our next one, and that is going to be studio apartments. But we will dive into that in the next episode. So, if you like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya.